Have you ever wondered what other people are Googling? You know what you're Googling, but what is everyone else Googling? This is actually a very interesting subject, so much so that people wait for Google to release their report every year. I know I like checking it out. One of the best things of that report is what states are Googling what, as in the residents. What are they Googling most often? In a lot of ways, it kind of shows you what is going on in a state if a bunch of people are searching for the same things, like how to claim bankruptcy, how to buy a new home with no down payment, who's my congressman, is a Cinnabon with a clamato chaser bad for you, or how to file for divorce. When you see a lot of searches like this, you know that there's a few things going on in this state. The people are broke, they have a twisted sweet tooth, and they blame their spouse and the government for all their woes. I looked up the top searches for 2022, and every state had the top 3 with a mix of these searches: Betty White, Will Smith, Wordle, Antifa, BLM, and Jan 6. As you can tell, things are a little strange in the United States these days. So I looked a little deeper and found what the next searches were, and that's where the entertainment was. When you take those most common searches out of the equation and just look at what's after that, we have our new Google searches for 2022. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Alabama. After you get past the Betty White and the BLM and all that stuff, you got what's really going on in Alabama, and it's kind of scary. I think they're trying to take over Mississippi for the worst state. They were searching for segregation, ISIS, and credit karma. Alaska. Alaska had some strange ones. I guess not really strange. You had Alaska earthquake, totally makes sense. Cabela's, which is an outdoor retailer, so that makes sense. But then they had average husky salary. At first I thought dogs get paid in this state, and I didn't understand what was going on. Then I thought it was like Husky Tools. But I come to find out that Husky is actually an energy company based out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And to answer that question, according to Glassdoor, the average salary for a process operator is $35 an hour. But if you're a Husky injection molding systems operator, that could be anywhere from $51,000 to $85,000 a year. Arizona. Arizona has some interesting searches. Jennifer Lawrence, The Bachelorette, and is it melanoma? I guess when you're living in the desert, this is a common thing you need to know about. Arkansas. They're searching for some interesting things. Google Classroom, UArk Mail, which is the University of Arkansas's mail system. So they're trying to learn, and they're really trying to learn because their next largest search was how to speak in tongues. California. Now, one of these was not surprising at all. Earthquakes. Everyone's going to search about earthquakes if you're living there or if you're going to move there, because everyone is terrified of earthquakes, unless you've been through like 50, like I have, and then they're just kind of, normal. But they also searched for the Giants, which is San Francisco Giants, and do you still need a weed card? Colorado. These ones kind of surprised me. Amazon Prime, that's very interesting. I'm sure a lot of people search that. Zillow, I'm on there constantly. And this one kind of blew me away. Tour de France. Connecticut. Connecticut has some strange ones, I guess. Yeah. So SoundCloud, I didn't even know that was really still a thing, but it is. They were searching for it big in 2022, followed by Power School, which is a software company that provides K through 12 software and cloud-based solutions to improve educational outcomes. That's what it says from their website. And get this. Their next one in line was how to get a concealed carry permit. If you've ever met some of the people from Hartford, Connecticut, you know this is a bad idea. Delaware, Cabela's, and UDSIS, which is the University of Delaware Student Information System. Also, how to file for unemployment. I guess the school's not really working out for a lot of people. Florida, SoundCloud again. Like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, it used to be. I haven't listened to SoundCloud in 5 years. Cool math games and how to get a divorce. Georgia, Credit Karma, Nike Soccer, and how to register to vote. There was another one that caught my eye for Georgia. It was down the list a little bit, but it was filming locations of The Walking Dead, which makes sense. It was filmed in Georgia for the most part. Hawaii, Disneyland, Southwest, and this one's backstory, this one, Oregon. Yeah, they also how to get COVID-19 vaccine. But the Oregon thing, there's a ton of Hawaiians that live in Oregon. I'm still not sure what the attraction is for them to come to Oregon, but there's a ton of them that live here. Idaho potato, Boise State football, and how to get a hunting license. They also had Californians a little further down on their line. Why are these Californians coming here? I'm sure that had something to do with their Google search too. Illinois. These make sense. Michael Jordan, he was with the Chicago Bulls forever. The Bears, which is the football team for Chicago. And how to register a car. They also had a little bit further down the line was, I'm not getting enough fiber. Indiana, Purdue basketball, the Indianapolis Colts, the Boilermakers, which that's the name of Purdue basketball or football, whatever, and how to get a passport. I guess when you live in Indiana, you think about that one a lot. Iowa goes on to prove how boring they are. They look up Iowa State football, University of Iowa, and how to file taxes. I'm shocked how long does it take paint to dry isn't on there. Kansas, again with the sports. Kansas City Chiefs, which, yeah, they're always in the playoffs, so that makes sense. Kansas State football, and how to get a fishing license. Kentucky. The Kentucky Derby, totally makes sense. University of Kentucky basketball. If you don't know about Kentucky, they're all about horses and basketball and drinking. That's why one of their top Google searches, how to get your driver's license back. Louisiana, Mardi Gras, New Orleans Saints, how to get a restraining order, not even kidding, and move to California. Maine, lobster, LL Bean, how to get a lobster license, and all-weather tires. Maryland, local hospital or ER, Baltimore Orioles, Ravens, and how to get a skate park pass. I didn't know they were doing a lot of skating out there in Maryland. Massachusetts, the Red Sox, the Patriots, New York City, and snow shovels. Michigan, Grand Rapids, Detroit Tigers, Wolverine football, the University of Michigan, and how to get potholes fixed. Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota Wild, and TikTok. That's pretty sad when you actually leave one video service to go to another to learn about the other one. Mississippi, Elvis Presley, Ole Miss football, Jackson, Mississippi, and swamp coolers. Missouri. This is kind of interesting. Lake Ozark, which is a town on Lake of the Ozarks. Lake of the Ozarks is a lake, reservoir, whatever, and this is just a town called Lake Ozark. They also searched the St. Louis Cardinals, Kansas City Royals, and how to get a hunting license. Montana, Big Sky Country, Amazon Prime, Glacier National Park, and how to get a bear tag. Nebraska, Cornhusker football, Omaha Steaks, how to get a YouTube channel, and Zillow. Nevada, this one totally makes sense. Air conditioning, boats, that one doesn't make sense, but a lot of people go up to Lake Mead, and different parts of the Colorado River that isn't too far from Las Vegas. They also look up Las Vegas Strip, Reno weather, and how to get a marriage license. Now that tells me that a lot of these searches were done from people visiting these places, and the system just picked up where they were when they searched. So this isn't all just residents. A lot of them like snow shovels. That sounds like people from California moved to a cold weather place. They're all, what's a snow shovel? New Hampshire. This one's interesting. White Mountains, the New England Patriots, food near me, and CNN. New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen, the New York Giants, how to get a beach tag. I'm not even sure what that is. And Twitter. I never took New Jersey for the twittering type of state, but here they are. New Mexico, Breaking Bad. That totally makes sense. New Mexico State University, Las Vegas flights, that's kind of weird, and Etsy, which is a crafts type buy and sell website. I'm not totally sure, but my wife's on it all the time. New York, weather tomorrow, ESPN, Yankees, New York Giants, and YouTube. North Carolina, Duke basketball, North Carolina Tar Heels football, how to get a hunting license, and Walmart. I think that's the first time Walmart showed up on here, which is really strange. I would have thought they'd be all over the place. North Dakota. North Dakota has some interesting ones. National parks and Fargo. That's not surprising. This one's kind of lengthy. United States map with states. United States map with states. That's odd. And Amazon. Ohio, LeBron James, Ohio State Buckeye football, Google Classroom, and Google Flights. Oklahoma, moving company, Tulsa, Oklahoma Sooner football, parks near me, and Bass Pro Shop. That one totally makes sense. They don't have a lot of Bass Pro Shops in Oklahoma. I was in Florida a few years back, and it seemed like every time I went down the interstate, there was another Bass Pro Shop. Oregon, this one's interesting. Nike, Portland Trail Blazers, lottery. Oregon is the only state that has lottery as one of their top Googled words or phrases. They also had Fred Meyer's, which is a store up here in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. It's in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Alaska. Pennsylvania, gardening, Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles, and New Jersey. Rhode Island, Dunkin' Donuts, Massachusetts, New England Patriots, and weather. South Carolina, Clemson Tiger football, Myrtle Beach, how to get a hunting license, and where do I vote? South Dakota, Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's near me, Badlands National Park, and my favorite, how to move to Canada. I would have thought for sure that would have been North Dakota's Google search, but no, South Dakota. Tennessee, Dolly Parton, Tennessee Titans, Nashville, Memphis, and Elvis. I think the whole Elvis thing is coming up because of the movie they had out like last year, the year before. It was a pretty good movie, even though it was Baz Luhrmann, who's a little like artsy when he makes movies, but it was really good. Texas, the Lone Star State, has some pretty interesting ones. California, oddly enough, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, the weather tomorrow, and the border wall. I guess they were a little worked up about that border wall for a while there. Utah, Salt Lake City, Zion National Park, Zillow, and Tesla. Vermont, Ben & Jerry's, Green Mountains, Bernie Sanders, and elections. Vermont, it's a weird state. They get into their politics there. Virginia, Shenandoah National Park, Washington Redskins, beaches, and Google Translate. Washington State, the Seattle Seahawks, Starbucks, homeless situation, Portland, Oregon, and Canada. West Virginia. This is kind of interesting. There's a backstory to one of them, and I'll tell you about it. Anyway, they look for Morgantown, West Virginia University, employment, and who's Bette Midler. I guess old Bette Midler decided to post a tweet back in 2021 that said West Virginia residents were poor, illiterate, strung out. As you can imagine, this enraged the people of West Virginia, so much so that their governor, Jim Justice, held up his bulldog's butt to a television camera and suggested that Bette Midler come out and kiss his dog's butt. I don't know if Jim Justice is a good politician or not, or a good governor. I love that man. He actually dropped an F-bomb during a COVID-19 press conference. Tried to blame it on a glitch. There's no glitch that makes you sound like you just said, if they just followed the effing guidelines. And he used the real word. Wisconsin. Wisconsin had the things I'd expect them to have. Green Bay Packers, which just about anyone in Wisconsin loves the Green Bay Packers. How to get a hunting license, Amazon, and the weather tomorrow. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. There's a link for that down below. All right, on to number 1. And we finish off our list with Wyoming. Wyoming's another one that kind of shows that a lot of these searches are coming from visitors. They search for Grand Teton National Park, Yellowstone National Park, wind, fly fishing, and I guess this one's for locals or people moving in, real estate prices. Honestly, every time I've gone to Wyoming, I wonder why more people don't live there or why people aren't moving there right now. It's a pretty nice state. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Have a great day. Be nice to each other.